You may not know what you think you know. Many people think they know something just because they can define it. And I'm here to prove to you that you may not know it after all. I'll start with an example. Let's go to the world of physics or mathematics. Let's pick a concept. Let's pick pressure. What is pressure? Simple definition: force over area. Or if you want to go further, you say it's the force exerted by a liquid or a gas on a cylinder or a container, on the surface of a cylinder or a container. Simple definition. By definition, A plus. But then you are brought into the field and you are employed by, say, NNPC, and NNPC wants to design a cylinder to transport diesel from port A to port B. And a critical design decision for that cylinder is the pressure of the diesel on the cylinder. So then you use that pressure to design or know how thick, how strong that cylinder has to be. That is when you realize that I don't necessarily know this pressure that I think I know, because I cannot apply it to make impactful, insightful business decisions. That is my point. Let me give you another example. In the world of software engineering, there's something called caching. What is caching? It's basically storing data temporarily so that you don't always have to make calls or server calls or DB calls to go get it every time you need it. Simple. The backend developer would say, storing it in my Redis cache so I don't necessarily go to my database every time to get back that data. The front-end developer would say, storing it in my browser cache so I don't have to make server calls every time to get data. Simple concept. But where the problem starts is when you are put on the hot seat and you are told this application has 5,000 users, it's already live, but we need to implement caching on the application. That is when you realize that there's a problem. I don't necessarily know this caching that I can define. And that is a problem. Now, I don't blame you. Why would I even blame you? Let's think about our educational system, for instance. Educational system in Nigeria has been designed to favor those that know how to define things, those that cram and pour. What do I mean? People even go as far as studying past questions. Like I'm telling you that people abandon textbooks where they get the rudiments of a concept and focus on past questions. Why? Because they want to know how the lecturer sets questions and how such questions are being solved. People read past questions to pass exams. And these lecturers have become even so lazy that they set the same kind of questions, just change values. And then anybody that has gone through these past questions gets A. But people that painstakingly go through the textbooks to understand the concepts may not even pass as well as those that just study the past question. Are you seeing where our Olodo uprising is coming from? A graduate of mechanical engineering will be given a project topic to write a thesis on the effects of governance in engineering decision. Not so bad, but it can be better. Why isn't an engineering graduate asked to create something, to develop a product or optimize an existing product? That is a better use of engineering resource and time. This is why people like Alex Onya of Educare and even Tunde Onokoya of Chess in Slums should be encouraged and supported, because they are bringing educational reforms to our educational system in Nigeria. This is a critical way we can avoid and stop this Olodo uprising of a thing. For instance, China and its president Xi Jinping and Burkina Faso and its president Ibrahim Traore have brought up educational reforms that states that engineering graduates must produce something as a project. Instead of writing long materials, you are creating a product or optimizing an existing product. So what it means is that instead of writing a long material on a thesis, you are creating a product or optimizing an existing product. This is the best way to get engineers to be creative, which is what engineering is about in the first place. In my opinion, Nigerian educational system needs a total reform. What do I mean? Lecturers should be forced to be creative. It is when a lecturer is creative at its question setting and teaching methods, that is when students can be creative in giving solutions to problems. See an example. A lecturer in school would say, if you don't give me a definition the exact way I gave it to you, you will not pass my course. What else can be more mundane? So you are telling me that I must give you word for word what you've given to me before you know I know a concept? Or I must cram everything you've given to me and pour it back for you before you know that I understand what you've taught to me? That's really bad. What is the point of all of this that I'm saying? I just need you to be sure that that thing that you can define, that thing that you think you know, that you really do know it. That when you are placed on the hot seat and told to make impactful business decisions based on that thing that you think you know, that you do not just falter and that you are able to deliver. Think about this in everything you do. Can you really defend it or do you just know it? Thank you very much for watching.